You're listening to the Jmix Show with Go Mac and Jmix on the Tupac Death Row channel. Dig that?
This is a Jmix exclusive.
I guess Pac was kind of I guess they fired him and didn't tell him, and it was in the newspaper, and he didn't know until he read the newspaper, so he was kind of pissed off about that, and they got a big fight at my video at Trigger Got No Heart video, and a lot of things went down over here. But I mean, after all, everybody was still, everybody squashed it, and after a while.
Now that's a big deal in Pac lore. That fight, that situation, that was kind of a big deal, and not a lot of people know about what really happened. What did you see at that video shoot? Did you catch what transpired between Hughes brothers and Pac, or did you just catch the aftermath?
I caught the aftermath, but because I was actually shooting a video when all of this was going down, and what's the guy's name that played Tyron Turner? Just tapped me on the shoulder and was, and pointed down the hill, and I seen Alan Hughes, running up the hill, and I ran down there, and I didn't know who he was, and back then I was hard-headed. I was gonna like knock him back down the hill until I realized it was him, and I shut it. They were chasing him up the hill, and I shut everybody down and told them to take their ass back down the hill. And we called the ambulance for Alan, and I don't know where his brother was, but I defused the situation as fast as I could when I realized it was Alan.
Now, and not to make a spectacle of this, but was he beat up pretty bad, or was it just an overblown incident?
He was beat up pretty bad. he was beat up pretty bad.
Now, was this Pac solo, or did Pac have a group of people with him?
Well, he had a group of people with him, but nobody, as far as what I was told, nobody jumped in, and they didn't really have no reason to lie to me about it. So, I guess they just let Pac and them go at it and do their thing. But Pac was like a little strong dude that he used to lift weights all the time and shit. He wasn't the type he didn't like being weak and shit.
One of my favorite songs is Losing It. One of my favorite tracks. I love that song. That's originally a Johnny J song, correct? The production on that?
Yeah.
Now, Tony Pizzaro did the remix for the Are You Still Down album. The people at the website have a question. They want to know why that you reused your verse from that song on Born to Die from the Tales from the Hood soundtrack. Was that because you didn't know that Losing It was actually going to come out at that point?
Yeah, I didn't. No, I didn't know at all. We was just, thinking that, we was just out there doing our thing, and next thing you know, we got 2 songs. And, like, it was crazy. We'd write a lot, and we'd get twisted, and we'd write, and we'd just rap, and, we don't know where the songs are going, if they even going to be released. We just was recording. And that's how that happened. That was crazy.
I guess the question is, how old was that song? Do you remember, around what year was that recorded? Because the fans didn't see a release of that, obviously, until Are You Still Down came out in the late 90s, and Tales from the Hood soundtrack around the same time. Was that a song that you had done 5-6 years prior?
Which one?
Losing It.
Yeah, it was before that. Losing It, I think we did Losing It, man, in the early, when we was just riding around L.A., I think Wino was with us from Coolio's group, as his DJ, and we was hanging out with Cypress Hill, and me and Pop was just driving around. L.A. was just crazy, and we hit the studio up and knocked that song down and got back in the car and drove off.
And I'll steer away from the song. I know with your catalog of work, it's hard to remember every song. I just have to humor the website. I've done a lot of interviews, and trust me, if people ask me what interview I did 2 years ago, I would be hard-pressed to know. So if you don't know, that's fine. I'll edit it out of the interview. But I got to ask you about Can't Turn Back.
Right.
Now, that was a you and Pac song, correct?
Yeah, that was actually just me and Pac. One night the same way, just driving around and shit, smoking, and we high, and we get bored, and we just hit the studio up and record some shit. And, that particular song, when we recorded it, he was like, don't go to sleep, cause we smoked a lot of weed. He's like, you always pass out when we smoking and shit. I'm like, man, I ain't gonna pass out, shut the fuck up, I ain't gonna pass out. And he's like, yeah, okay, whatever, don't go to sleep. And like, we get to the studio, and he record his verse, and I record my verse, and then I pass the fuck out in the booth, in the recording booth and shit. we used to kick it, man. We was live, dude.
Now, that song was mixed for Are You Still Down? That release, was that a remix of the song?
Yeah, I always trip, sometimes, like it was a few songs I was on that I'm not on anymore. Like I didn't even know what happened with that, but, as long as the real fans know and everybody know, I don't have a problem with it, man, because the songs are still floating around the internet everywhere. You can listen to them anytime you want to.
Well, I had interviewed Cocaine, Jerry Long. He told me about recording with Pac and you shortly before Pac died, the song Fame.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we did. The day before, well, the same day that Pac came out here to Vegas and got killed, we had just did that song, Fame. Like me, him, and Cocaine had just did that song because it was the day before, or the same day that he was shooting that movie with James Belushi, and me and Cocaine was on the set of the movie, and we left the set of the movie, and we was all heading out here to Vegas, and we separated, and Pac got out here before me and Cocaine, I guess, or maybe Cocaine had been out here, I don't know, but and that's when everything happened, so it's crazy.
Now that song in particular, because you were talking about there was a lot of songs people can listen to on the internet. Because of the timing of that song, were you upset that when they finally put out that song that you weren't on it? Was that one of the songs that upset you to not be on the official?
Yeah, because we recorded that song, as two homeboys riding around, kicking it, legendary Spice One and Tupac, that was our creation, and for somebody to go in there and change it was kind of, I kind of took it, kind of, like it was like an insult or like, like it just wasn't cool. Like damn, like it's like going to me that was like going to Egypt and tearing down the writing on the pyramids and the pyramids. Like damn, you erasing history and shit.
This is a Jmix exclusive.
What up, shut up?